And welcome back to Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. It's Bert. There is a gigantic show that is beginning today and running throughout the entire weekend at the New Jersey Convention and Expo Center in Edison. And it's something that I've always wanted to try, and maybe this is the weekend I can learn more about it. There's a big fly fishing show that is happening. And joining me now on the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline is the president and CEO of the show that is coming up this weekend. It is the Fly Fishing Show. And we have Ben Furimski, who was with us this morning on WCTC. Hey, Ben, it's Bert Barron. How you doing?
Good, Bert. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for taking a couple minutes. I know it's pretty crazy with the show that's getting underway there later on today, but fly fishing, this is something, I think about New Jersey, and we've got lakes, we've got some rivers, and this fly fishing thing is very popular here in New Jersey. Talk about why it's such a popular thing with so many people.
Well, it's a popular sport because people just enjoy the reasons that it takes you to the outdoors. Fly fishing versus a lot of other techniques for fishing is a lot more entertaining without success of catching the fish, and you can't always guarantee that you're going to catch fish. But the fly fishing sport, you're very involved in the act of fishing, so you're pretty entertained without success, but of course, success is great. And there's also a lot of specific disciplines that you can get involved within the sport, such as just the casting or entomology or study of the bait. And there's things like that people really get involved into, and they may enjoy that more tying the flies. There's people that tie flies way more than they actually go fishing. So it's kind of a multi-leveled sport. And yes, this weekend is an awesome time to really get an idea of what the sport is about. If you enjoy fishing of any sort, or you've thought about trying fly fishing, you get a really good idea of what it's about here at the show.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, Ben, but from what I've seen on television and the internet, just I guess you'd call it the art of tying a fly. It seems like it's such a precision thing, and there really is a skill and an art and a passion to it, and it's something that kind of goes back generations, if not centuries, right?
Centuries, yeah.
Centuries.
Good, more than 2,000 years old.
Wow.
There's more books about fly fishing than any other sport in the world, both because of the age of the sport. There's a lot of theory to it, and like I said, there's a lot of minor disciplines, plus it attracts a fairly literate crowd that then wants to write about all the theories they have.
It's very cool. It's just something that always kind of fascinated me, and I've always wanted to learn more about it. And this weekend is really the perfect time if you're like me and you want to find out more. It begins today at the New Jersey Convention and Expo Center at the Raritan Center in Edison. Just very simply visit flyfishingshow.com. You'll have all the information that is right there, the show hours, all the great exhibits. For someone who's coming out to this for the first time, Ben, what are some of the things that they're going to see over the course of the weekend?
Oh, we've got manufacturers, retailers, guide services, destination lodges. I'm standing here in front of 9 different presentation rooms. We have a whole other section with 4 more presentation rooms. There's a presentation going on every hour. We have 2 casting ponds. There's a watercraft zone. There's a women's showcase, featured fly tires, just about everything that you could see. And one highlight and one point I'd like to make for those coming for the first time, I just had a discussion with a vendor, and a mistake that most people make for the first time is they're like, oh, let's go check it out for a couple of hours, and they're always overwhelmed. And those customers always tell us that the next year they came back and planned the whole day or the weekend, because there's no way that you can see this all in a couple of hours. Of course, if that's all you have, that's great. We've got kid learning zones for beginners and kids. We've got a film festival going on Friday night after the show floor closes. International Fly Fishing Film Festival. It's great fun, and that starts at 6:30 on Friday night. So there's a ton of stuff to do all weekend long.
Yeah, this is really great. And again, all the information is on the website, flyfishingshow.com. There is some bonuses there, too, if kids under 5 are actually going to be able to attend the show for free. And also, scouts under 16, if you wear your uniform, you also get in for free. And there's a real nice military discount as well. So get all the information there on flyfishingshow.com. Ben, when I think of imagery of fly fishing, I think about beautiful rivers. I think about the American West and the mountains. And I think about the rivers in the Midwest. Talk about New Jersey and our part of the country when it comes for fly fishing. Is this a good place, this part of the country, to take part in fly fishing?
Yeah, of course. I grew up in southern New Jersey, and I live in the mountains of the Rocky Mountains West now in Colorado. But I come back every year to New Jersey just to do some fly fishing for the stripers and bluefish in the fall. To get a good saltwater fix. So you guys, like you mentioned, there's a ton of still water lakes and ponds and things like that. There's the trout streams may not be as big and as fast flowing, but there's great trout streams. You actually have a longer season, and then the saltwater fly fishing can be tremendous here. So there's a lot of variety. But one of the things we have the show here for in the North Jersey area is also, there's a lot of population. So there's a lot of people interested in the area. This is going to be actually the largest fly fishing event ever held in history this weekend.
Wow.
With the new move to our new venue.
Very cool. Awesome stuff. And it's great to have the show, of course, in Edison this weekend and beginning today. Flyfishingshow.com for all the particulars there. For the novice like me, Ben, I want to get involved in fly fishing. What are some things that I need to know just as far as the basics of perhaps diving into this?
Well, you'll need to look at the basic gear that you need to get, rod, a reel, and line. The line is actually the thing that really distinguishes fly fishing from any other type of fishing. In fly fishing, we're casting the weight of the line rather than the weight of the lure. And that's why we can also deliver very light or small flies. For example, when trout might be feeding on tiny mayflies or tiny midges, types of insects that you couldn't represent with any other equipment, a fly rod can do that. But you can also cast a big bunker fly for striped bass that might be 12 inches long and represent baits for them. So, the basic equipment and then basic knowledge of the mechanics of the cast, and that's really all you need to get started. Very cool. It sounds very involved, but now I'm really intrigued. And now I want to learn more about it and maybe take a try at this. This sounds really cool. It's one of those sports, it can be as complicated as you want. Okay. But the basic premise is very simple. I mean, you can relate it to golf a lot. Where you can have your best day one day and the next day is your worst day that you've had in years. But that brings you back the next time. And it's also, the premise is, well, you're just trying to, hit a ball into a hole, or you're just trying to cast the line out and catch a fish, which is pretty basic. But in the end, it's never as simple as you want to, but it's always enjoyable. That is a terrific analogy there. Our guest, Ben Furimski, he is the president and CEO of the Fly Fishing Show, which gets underway later on today in Edison at the New Jersey Convention and Expo Center. You can check out flyfishingshow.com for all the information. It's going to be a terrific weekend. As we wrap up, Ben, shout out back home in South Jersey. What town did you grow up in, and anybody you want to say hello to? Oh, Ocean City. Yeah, I've got all my guys that I grew up with there, and a lot of them have gotten into fishing and been exposed to fly fishing. So hopefully they can make it up to the show and sneak out of work or away from their home duties to come up. It'd be great to see some of my buddies. Well, good stuff. Good to have you back in Jersey this weekend, Ben, and thanks for the time today here on WCTC, and to have a terrific show this weekend, and hopefully we could talk again soon. Sure. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you down here.